Me. Ah. Alright, I'm just gonna tweet out on, Twitter that I'm streaming. And then I'm gonna grab my cup of tea, which is downstairs already. We are live and talking about Star Citizen and Chris Roberts' glorious return. I spell glorious correctly? Let's have a look. I have to Google the word glorious. Glorious. Yes. Alright, get my cup of tea. Create a talk show interview with what's about this melon? What? Get out of here, you adverts on my OBS. Grab a tea. And those sounds mean that we are ready. That was me sitting down and also apparently being haunted by a spooky ghost. Right, let us click on. That's going to take me not where I want to go at all. Hi. You get, look how the quality of my background is. It's not blurry at all. Oh well. Sure, that'll sort itself out. It's going. Oh wait, I can make that less fuzzy. Will that work? No. That bit better? Will that do? What have I done? What if I do that? Fuck it. Oh, me. Sorry. Oh! We had tea and crumpets. I'm on keto. This is some form of keto crumpets. Well, I'm not. I mean, I'm sort of on keto. Okay. I'm fine. I was on keto for a while. Lost a load of weight. Lost like 25 pounds, 30 pounds. I've put on a little bit of weight on again recently because I've sort of been yo-yoing on and off keto. I'm just stressed and tired, so I've just sort of like been grabbing food where I can and things. And this morning I had a McDonald's sausage and egg McMuffin, obviously not particularly keto. Yeah, so I want to crumpet. Got tea though. Tea with cream and sweeteners. But yes, if you'd like to ask a question during the live stream, question in brackets. In a bit, I will be talking about Chris and Sandy's video, which we recently had. They did a short video for half an hour long. Short, apparently short, allegedly. And then they talked about various things about Alpha 3.15 and 3.14 live, hopefully middle of July, as we'd been expecting anyway, because we smirk. And obviously Chris is behind. No, he's not on this scene. What am I even doing? This is the wrong scene. What am I doing? It's a void with space behind me. There's Chris. Hello. Hello, Uncle Shorts. See, he's there. So we're talking about that. There's a little roadmap update. 3.14 could go to first wave PTU later today. That's what I'm expecting. Yeah, it was nice to see Chris and Sandy again. We hadn't seen them in ages. Now, is that just because they didn't want to do any filming from their homes? That's possible. That is a possibility. I would have been fine for Chris Roberts or Sandy just giving an update.
Tricksy little hobbits.
From their home webcams.
Kira's hoping for PTU today.
Here's hoping for PTU today. Me too, buddy. Steven, thank you very much for the sub. Very much appreciated. It's possible that they won't get it done in time, but I'm hoping. I'm hopeful. Makes sense, right? Either today or over the weekend, and if not, then sort of like Monday. It depends if the builds fail or not. Would be my expectation. But we'll have to wait and see. Maybe there's more stuff that needs to be done in the Evo build. Bored, thanks for covering our Icarus mission. Yes, so the Operation Icarus was hilarious for lots of reasons. Because it was a mixture of, why are you doing this? To, oh, actually, that's quite cool and quite interesting, and I like the scientific sort of method and the you actually breaking it down as a proper study, and I just liked that a load of it. So potato aim, Mr. Potato, nice, thanks for doing it. Potato aim. Okay, that makes more sense. I'm bad with words, especially if I've not said a name before. That is my dyslexia at play there. Sea Lance, let's do a 50-player Nerf gun battle at Horizon when it goes live. Yeah, why not? Why not, eh? So, I've been I've had a rough couple of weeks. My dad's taken a bad turn. Sort of. We had an 18-month run with my father after he had his brain cancer, where he was getting significantly better and was doing awesomely. And that's now taken a big turn, and it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get the help that we need. Maybe because it's not available, just it's a magical thing that doesn't exist and do anything more. It's even sort of delayed to get sort of CT scans and stuff for him, because he's considered he's on palliative care, so it's end of life care. So that's been really difficult recently, and the rapid deterioration is bad. So it's him confused, doesn't know what's going on, can't feed and look after himself, and occasionally is just wandering around the house. Tried to come into my room, assuming it was the toilet sort of thing. So he needs. I've had to lock certain doors and things. So it's not great, but we're coping. We've got help from nurses and stuff that will come in every morning. We're trying to keep him out of hospital where possible because that's his wishes. So there might be stuff. Obviously, that's going to cause some disruption to the channel. I know that people will understand that. If you don't, F you. Family's always going to come first, and but I still have time to do videos. It's not like, oh guys, I'm doing you a real big favor, or oh, I better do my work. It's I need to work, otherwise my mind will implode. And also it's a big lifeline for me, these sort of any of the content, but the streams especially. Like, I can sort of talk as my mind bleeds, and worries about stuff, or not worries, or whatever, or share it. It's pretty cathartic, and actually it's genuinely helpful for sorting out my mind and where I am, because I don't know where I am. I haven't thought about it. I'm trying not to mourn my father at all at the moment, because he's around and I need to look after him. But also, I find it hard to know what to do and how to look after him, and I hurt him when I try and help him. Like, he's wandering around and trying to guide him back into his bedroom, but he seems to be. It's just difficult. Mainly because I don't know what to do. But it's not all doom and gloom and stuff. It's he's comfortable and everything. It's just, yeah. Sorry, it got talking about it in the channel update. I don't want it to get too heavy and stuff. So it is something I will occasionally talk about. And as I said, if I'm off for a few days, or if content's a bit erratic, or whatever, then I'm sorry. Something that's actually to look forward to. Obviously, got 3.14. Very excited by that. Sin's going to be helping out on the channel a lot more. Obviously, she's full time anyway, but she is relatively underutilized. But as we get more and more Star Citizen gameplay and playable, and towards the end of the year, she's going to be used a lot more. And this is going to be sort of like 3.15, 3.16, Citizen Con, end of year. That's and Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. That's going to be a huge amount. So the last couple of quarters in the year are the big times for Star Citizen. Oh yeah, so dear, don't worry about me. I'm not going to crack up or anything, and it's not sort of like too hellish for me, or anything like that. It's very bearable generally. So Toshin said, make sure you're taking care of yourself. It's easy to get stuff. Yes, I'm doing well. I'm eating properly. I mean, sometimes I'm going to be eating poorly for my diet, and I'm going to occasionally still go out when I know that my mother has got it and everything, and she's looking after my father, and she doesn't need any help in the evening, or I know a nurse is coming or whatever. I'm going to still get out occasionally to stay sane, but I'm going to make sure I look after myself and my mother. It's the person I'm most worried about at the moment. Yeah, I appreciate all the kind words about my dad. There's nothing anyone can do, and it's just a brute fact of life that you lose loved ones, and you got to deal with it. Yeah, I mean, almost all of us will have to deal with. I tell you, people saying they want to help in some way, just occasionally. I don't know. if in the future something horrible happens to you or whatever, you're more than welcome to share it with me on stream or with other people in my community, or with just if you want to help, reach out to people when you're sad or when they're sad or when you need help or when you want to share something. Be less afraid of reaching out and talking to another human. That is all you can do to help, and generally that will help other people. But some people sent me sympathy money, or maybe not sympathy money. That's disrespectful, because 2 people sent me a lot of money, and they specifically said it was not for sympathy, but they did want to help out the channel, and they sort of like, look, tide you over, we want to help. It's like money doesn't help. So donations and subscriptions and that sort of stuff, that is irrelevant. This is irrelevant from the channel, and that sort of stuff should never be used to further your career. Jeez, like I see that stuff on TikTok and on Twitter, people sort of grinding for money from tragedy. Like life is tragic anyway, so. But yeah, honestly, reach out to another human, say hello, whether that's you that needs to reach out because you're having a hard time, or because you think someone else is having a hard time, or even if it's just to listen and just share stuff. And I appreciate you listening to me. Sorry, that was incredibly heavy, and or at least not Star Citizen content that you've come to want from my channel. But yes, so I appreciate the hustle. There's lots and lots and lots of messages of love and lots of PMs as well. And yes, I will accept your money. Thanks, you know you are. But do not send me sympathy money, please. Donate it to charity, if it's sympathy money, whatever, or you feel bad or you want to help. If you want to support the channel, go ahead. Are you going to stalk Chris even though he's moving to the UK? So, this is one of the things. Chris and Sandy are, more importantly, Chris Roberts, are coming to the UK either end of this year or beginning of next. And there's some new UK studios in Manchester still, but they're getting bigger studio there. Because they want to have over 400 or more staff, and the current studio, the current offices, they bought all the floors, and now they're expanding further, and they haven't got enough room. So it's absolutely crazy. But the reason Chris Roberts is coming over to the UK, not just because the prime studio is here, but also they want to finish out Squadron 42. So it sounds like he's going to be here for like 6 months to a year sort of thing, finishing out Squadron. That's going to be awesome. Hopefully as well, because they're also they're starting to want to open up the studios, and it's going to be Austin and LA first probably, and then the UK ones, but that should be pretty soon. And that also means potential office tours for me. And I'm going to try and I'll poke some of the CIG guys I know, see what we can do about office tour, because office tours have been so helpful to me in the past, and it was one of the reasons my channel sort of like got quite a lot of exposure and has become sort of expanded in the way it sort of has. But they give me so much information about what's going on with the project and the future of the project, and when certain things might happen, and also a level of confidence about certain things. So will Chris Roberts change his name to Chris Roberts UK? Nice. You seem sad. No, I'm good. I'm good. I was talking about something that was sad, but we're okay. Is Manchester studio expansion where they go into a huge new office tower, or is that the German studio? So the German studio have got the Frankfurt 1 building, which is going to be completed next year, and then they're going to be moving in there. And there's a new studio they're moving out of the Winslow office, which is by Manchester. It sounds like they're moving deeper into Manchester Central, but it sounds like for a larger office as well. I'm not worried about Squadron 42 performance, nor should you. I mean, it's not going to have the same performance issues that Star Citizen has at the Persistent Universe, and it's going to be a magnitude, if not more, sort of polished and sort of ready for that. I mean, they need to add the Vulcan, they need to get all these scalable graphics options in. They need graphics drivers specifically written for Star Citizen and things like that, and they will be done for when Squadron 42 is live, and you'll get a much better experience. Luck Dragon, firstly, thoughts are with you. Thank you. As my mum has been battling stage 4 cancer for a while. Secondly, I hope for the best with your mother and battling that. I hope you've got high quality of life, and I wish you luck with that. Secondly, thank you for the shout out on my video to my org mates who made it the Stat Star. Sincerely, Falcor. I appreciate it. Yeah, so Luck Dragon, Mr. Falcor. I love the fact that you did Operation Icarus. I thought that was a genuinely great thing. So, Operation Icarus, a load of people took a 22-day journey to get to the Stanton Star. So, when you actually travel, so if you quantum travel between 2 points and sort of like exit your quantum route by the Stanton Star, you're actually underneath it, so it's above you. But these guys travelled the 22-day journey from that quantum point in traditional standard engines, basically, although they kept on using another ship to make a save point and then quantum travelling to the save point, basically, with bed logouts, so they sort of saved their progress constantly. But they travelled all the way to that star, and at the moment it's just a 2D object that's sort of, well, it's 3D, but it's sort of just a projecting exterior. Once you get into the middle, once you get past that, you can't see anything of the star anymore. It's sort of one side is being projected. It's not a physicalized thing, and it doesn't kill you or anything like that. And now they're continuing their mission to go further in, but they were sort of like did this like scientific little thing, and it was more sort of an achieve more than anything else. But I like the fact they organised a proper procedure and to get there and made it more efficient, and they had these different roles all doing different things. Good effort to you. Good effort to you. We've got a video on it. Thank you very much for the donation. You don't need to donate to ask questions. Just ask a question in brackets, and I'll have a look at some point. As regards to family, oh, J Bedmax, I love you, mate. By the way, just you're a star. I mentioned you in the last video, obviously, but I can't talk about the specifics of Ivacadi patches. Someone's asked how bad is the frame drop in Orison. I would expect that Orison, because of Gas Cloud Tech, and they've obviously been talking about Gas Cloud Tech and stuff like that, would be one of the lower performing areas. And that will be something they'll be trying to deal with through the PT phase. That would be my expectation. Zin's currently working on a roadmap update video. We've done a Chris and Sandy one, sort of summary of that, which I'll release after this podcast, well, live stream, whatever this is. Is some form of iCache coming with physicalized inventory? So, iCache, or the what's it called? The thingamajig graph. 1 second, I have to look at my notes. Entity graph. Entity graph. So, iCache has sort of been renamed into a larger thing, the entity graph, and a larger set of things, persistent streaming. And well, I'll refer to it as iCache for the ease, I suppose. So iCache is built into a load of stuff now, and all built with it in mind. But it needs to sort of all come online with a load of server updates and a bit of an overhaul, which is and they're working on persistence and all that sort of stuff at the same time as part of the same set of features. So local inventory is a step towards that and uses some of that tech, as I understand it. Are you drinking Yorkshire tea? No, I'm drinking some organic black tea I quite like. Can you translate Chris's speech on server meshing into English for us? Yes, I can. I've got a video on it. But basically, they're working with a large engineering strike team now, with networking, engine, back-end service teams all working together. There's 20 people working specifically on server meshing now. It's super critical. It's the biggest technical initiative they've got. It allows for a huge amount more players, as well as addressing performance issues with servers, and they don't have to worry so much about server degradation when they have server meshing in, and they can have you know, start to push the game towards being an MMO, or at least a huge amount more players in for the first iteration even. A lot of core features are done for server meshing, at least to some degree. Authority transfer is done, so that allows servers to pass sort of authority onto each other, and they go, right, you're now in charge of this entity, object, or player, and they can pass it over. Backend entity graph is what iCache has now been renamed to, and that's still being built out, but there's a lot of it already built out, and that remembers the state of every single object and entity in game, and what can be streamed in and out. So, for example, at the moment, that's not done properly, and that's one of the reasons they said that NPCs were standing on tables or chairs or not in the right places, for example. But the idea is that this is a very quick way a server can grab and fetch data and change data at a level between the dedicated game server and the backend databases. So it's a level between, and it can easily grab the data and save the data so that it can it can stream it in and out. Bam! And it's precise, which is the essential part of that as well. Precise and seamless, I suppose, or near seamless. They're making good progress on that, and by the end of the year, they hope to have proper persistence complete for server meshing. Now, will that be integrated into game? Maybe. We're going to see a server meshing panel at the Virtual CitizenCon on the 9th of October as well. That is the translation of what Chris said. But you can have a slightly more in-depth summary of exactly what was said throughout that video. After this live stream, I will release our summary. What is the chances we will see partial implementation of server meshing coming this year, minus the entity graph? I think the entity graph is an essential component of server meshing. I mean, it is. You're more likely to see partial implementation of entity graph and other server improvements this year than you are server meshing, in my opinion. We'll have to wait and see exactly what's going to happen. I mean, middle of next year is my optimistic guesstimation of 4.0 server meshing in Pyro. What else have we got here? I've noticed you responding to some meme posts kind of trashing on you. I don't think that was what it was at all. I think it was just some people memeing and having a bit of a laugh. People can poke fun at me or Star Citizen or the project without me feeling like I'm personally attacked. It's all good. So I think some people will try and get an emotional response. Some people will see a meme and me respond to it and go, ah, see, he doesn't care. And some people will go, you only here because you care. Ah, got him. Okay, that's still fair. And some people will, be pretty aggressive or say, you're the problem with this project or whatever. People are entitled to their opinions. I don't care. It's all good. People are allowed to think and have their opinions. And that's important to me as well. So, how does this personally affect you and make you feel? Oh, cool. That was your question. Getting haters for no real reason. I wouldn't even describe them as haters. I think they're just when you get like light level trolls, they just shit talk and or shit on a particular subject. Cool. Yeah, you do you. Xandero, thank you very much. Becoming king of channel. Oh my god, you are top tier. Namaste. I need a particular thing. Huh. I've got... Yeah. Huh. So that's what you get for becoming king of channel. That's a ridiculously high level of membership. Thanks. Appreciate it. Me and Zin will get some... Oh my god, we need to get some exclusive channel content. It's been difficult because I'm lazy. Okay, I'll tell you that. Or because stuff that I wanted to make exclusive channel content, yeah, I just put out on the channel anyway. But we will have some good channel content. I'm sorry that if that ripped ears. Hey Star, thank you. Legend. Is that t-shirt for sale? This was one QWERTY. I found this. I bought a load of t-shirts. We've got some pretty good ones. There was a sale on. They were like £5 off each, so I bought a load. I'm not a fashionable person. I know you look at me and go, look at this fashionable potato, but I'm not. I can't. It's hard to believe, isn't it? But first of all, I'll buy a load of t-shirts. I hope they're in large as well. I was hoping I'd get medium, but I put on a bit more weight again, so I lost loads. I was like, oh, almost at medium level. I put a bit more on. I go, wow, I get large just in case, just for a short term. I can be aiming for medium t-shirts soon. I appreciate all the love and kind words. If you need anything, bud, I'm feeling local, just shout. I'll be doing relatively soon after lockdown restrictions are lifted, I want to organise a mini bar citizen in Southampton or nearby, so south of England, just a little one. And then, because I also want to question people here at that event about doing a big bar citizen either later this year or beginning of next year. It's sort of like a little bit Brothers and Connie, a little bit bar citizen-y. I want to do a pub quiz there. I want to get some devs down. I'll probably have it up by Manchester. Makes sense, so devs are more likely to come. Maybe have a little competition or something. But basically a big... I'll rent a pub out. Rent a nice pub out that's got nice food, good drinks, and we'll just have a big social. That will be the idea. And I'll do a little bit of fundraising on the channel for it if people want to donate towards it. But I'll do it whatever sort of... I'll do it whatever. Like, it's all good. I'll chuck the company money at it. It will be fine. But I like to, when I have donation... typically I will have a donation goal up. Even if it's sort of like for alcohol or for holiday. Just because I know what donations are going to, based on when people donate. Because people donate all the time, just know what it's going into. At the moment I don't have one up because I haven't thought about it properly. At the moment it's just going towards the channel in general. Or probably that bar citizen, or whatever. Thank you. Or Zin's raises. Thank you very much, Sketo, for becoming a board citizen. Namaste. Why not? Thank you very much. I appreciate people that go out of their way to click that join button and sort of like, it's basically Patreon for YouTube. Another filthy way of monetizing my channel, but it is appreciated. There will be polls up on there. There will be exclusive content. There will be some behind the scenes stuff. I'm just bad with it at the moment. Do you think Star Citizen will release in 2025 and Squadron 42 in 2023? I was hoping Squadron 42 will release it in 2022. To be honest, those are pretty reasonable dates. I think that's Blue Moon. I think you've probably nailed it on the release date. So I'm hoping Squadron 42 in 2022. End of. But oh, I won't beat myself up. Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. I don't really feel... I don't really do what ifs and buts and oh my god, I wish I had done that. I sort of try and learn. I've got a very business orientated mind, which is, okay, that didn't work, or I've done something wrong. I'm not going to feel the depressing, crushing guilt, because I suffer from anxiety and bipolar, so sometimes I do, sometimes. But typically it's for a decision that's yet to be made that I will get the, oh god, I need to get this right sort of anxiety, rather than, oh god, it's done. Because once it's done, it's a lot more relaxing, even if you've done the wrong decision or something that wasn't perfect. I can't remember where I was going with that. I lost my track of my mind. Just assume it was really profound in Smart. I'm pragmatic in the sort of my approach, which is, did this work? Did it not work? Okay, learn from it and do it better next time. And what matters most is that you can. You put effort in. Situations like these are hard, and there's no catch-all solution. You just do the best for your family and sanity. Yeah, I just, obviously, the worry is that you don't know exactly what that is, but yeah, I'll give it a damn good try, eh? I appreciate all the kindness. There's just... hashtag cancer sucks. What a lovely hashtag. I mean, it's accurate, isn't it? Any postulations on how Imperator Addison, Lalani Addison, has affected law? So she's supposed to be promoting AI and science. So, no, we may have Imperator Day later on in July, like we did last year. So hopefully they'll give us a bit of... 1 second, let me just turn this down a bit. They might be able to give us a bit more information about what's going on with Addison, what she's done for the sort of like the lore and what that might mean for the future, because missions in the game is going to be slightly influenced by Addison being the Imperator. Was there any word on swapping out turrets, not guns? I wouldn't mind those Perseus point defense turrets on my Cutty. Okay, so expect the... I'm not entirely sure is the answer. So you're certainly going to be able to have different AI blades in the future, some of which will be point defense-esque in their sort of targeting nature. So they'll be like, these ones target missiles and torpedoes. These ones target fighters and small craft. Things like that, yeah? Will you be able to entirely replace a turret? Probably on some. So it's the hard point that's important, and some might have different turrets that you can put on those hard points. Yeah? Can you talk about gameplay the Star Citizen is not handed to us? Or rather, gameplay citizens have imagined it up themselves. So yeah, there's quite a lot that we've seen in the past. Obviously, Jump Town is probably the most one that's most remembered, which is it was partly handed to us. It was the only place you could get, or one of the only places you could get Widow, and you could get good trade routes between this semi-secret location, because it wasn't a Crompton travelable point. You had to get there and by sort of knowing it was there, and you could Crompton travel near it and then come out of warp. But you'd go here and you could buy a load of Widow, and then you could sell it. And that then had people locking the area down and attacking people because it was technically a criminal goods and a legal good. And yeah, it was interesting cargo running gameplay, and it was interesting PvP gameplay, and it was emergent gameplay. And there's all this other emergent gameplay, which is what you're talking about. So we've seen things like the Daymar Rally, we've seen things like the Destruction Derby stuff. So like in a crater, everyone just fighting in a vehicle. We've seen things like Rexilla used to do with the FPS and ship assaults and attack this hill, sort of silly stuff. We've got the Stanton 7. So we've got a mixture of races. You've got things like the Operation Icarus, where they travel to the star. There's actually quite a lot, and there's loads of like org operations that orgs will run. But a lot of this is because the sandbox nature of Star Citizen is you can't do too much at the moment, so it's essential for players to find other things to do, and they've got a beautiful sort of like looking game, so they will find other stuff to do. Once we actually have a lot more gameplay and things to do, yes, there'll still be emergent gameplay, and technically there'll be more emergent gameplay, but there'll also be a huge amount more available gameplay which doesn't require emergent gameplay necessarily, or to organized gameplay. Well, it will be organized, but you know what I mean. Any updates on economic systems to help with trading or haulage missions? Expect them to be putting on more cargo opportunities and missions in the near future. Might see some rebalance in 3.14 and 3.15. And we know that there's the local inventories coming, which will affect this as well. There's quite a lot actually coming, and they are working towards the dynamic universe simulation, which is dynamic economy as well. I'll donate to you some sympathy money, and you can donate to a charity of your choice. Appreciated. I want to have a charity that the channel typically supports. So I've previously done that with Special Effect and some other places, but I probably will look at a mental health and a cancer charity in the UK or worldwide that the channel supports regularly. And what else have we got? We are going to be getting Jump Town 2.0 at some point, Cloud Imperium have said. Exactly what that means, I don't know. Will the cargo deck become operational soon? So it sounds like that's what part of local inventories are going to be. You're going to be able to do a lot more at cargo decks. You're going to be able to get cargo missions there. You're going to do your cargo work and buy and sell commodities more readily from there, and rent space and things like that. So at some point, yes, it looks like it's going to be in the relatively near future. When will female characters in Star Citizen start looking more like Sandy and Chris? Well, is Chris scanned himself into the game? He must have. Well, we know that Pusher, one of the characters in Squadron, is Sandy's face, and I suspect that some of her features will be subsumed into the character generator stuff. Drake Leviathan, Drake Hydra, Drake Charybdis. If you're going to say what these ships were based on the name, what would you think? Leviathan, some form of Drake, giant capital ship. Probably some big forward-facing pew Leviathan. Yeah. Drake Hydra, something more like a hammerhead, a smaller gunship. Yeah, that sort of makes sense. Charybdis, I'm not really sure. What is a Charybdis? Oh, Charybdis and Scylla. So it's the Odyssey, isn't it? So which Scylla and Charybdis? Which was what? Charybdis was assumedly the worm, the sea monster worm thing, and Scylla was the whirlpool. Yeah, is that right? Charybdis is a sea monster in Greek mythology. She, with the sea monster Scylla, is as a challenge to Odysseus. You can have Charybdis as a aquatic vehicle, or even as a mining vehicle. Nom nom nom. It's got a bit of a maw on it. Salvage vehicle, maybe. I'm an ex-Elite Dangerous player. I just got Star Citizen. I've been checking out your YouTube. I've got to get back to work. Thought I'd say hi. Oh, thank you. Hi. Hope you enjoy. I'll be redoing a Star Citizen sort of Star Citizen new player guide for 3.14. Actually, I need to start working on that. So we have our Hollow Star light source, therefore Stanton remains incomplete. Yes. When do you think we'll get a Plasma Tech star model? I think they're actually working on some more physicalized stars for Pyro. I also think that later on they'll be looking at potential of planets revolving around the star and the moons revolving around planets. Hello, excluding what's already on the roadmap. What's your guess for the next ship for CIG? Probably they'll be wanting to do their mobile refinery. That makes sense, right? What have you, dude? Aaron Neo, I appreciate that, man. Hope you're doing well, sir. We'll have to catch up again soon, and I'll have to either come down and see you, or you'll have to come up and see me. But it's my treat this time. You and your partner. We get to see you again. I don't like it, but I don't think Chris is really alive. I think he's an AI created by Tony Z. I see. Given the state of Elite Dangerous Odyssey, there seems to be a lot of elite players now seriously looking at jumping on Star Citizen. Star Citizen's not ready for them, though. And so Elite Dangerous has got problems because of Odyssey, really, because they went... Well, it needed another 6 months, at least. Odyssey, really, in my opinion. And I suspect it will be pretty good once it's done and dialed in, and then tweaked a bit. But Star Citizen is still very much alpha as well. But I suppose it doesn't try to be anything other than alpha at the moment. It's playable alpha, yeah, for sure. And they sort of do go, yeah, playable, even though it's got its problems. But I suppose you're more prepared for that with Star Citizen, yeah? Your expectations are much more tempered at the moment. But all of those exclusive supporters make them a potato crown. Oh, Sparrow, that's a great idea. So, out of curiosity, do you see me, please put in the chat, more as a potato or more as an egg? Yeah? Am I a potato or am I an egg? Potato? Egg. There is a helicopter flying over my house. I've got a helipad near me. So apologies if you can hear wobble, 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 wobble. Soy. I've been searching high and low for a really good explanation of scanning when mining, like, really in depth of how zoom and orientation work together. I've had a lot of issues with it. Geek Garage, can you message me, PM me, or email me, rich@BoredGamer.co.uk, exactly what you want. Specifically what you're looking for and what you want answered. Because I might be able to include that in a video that I'll be doing on mining and scanning. Can we have Gym Citizen too? What? What's the deal with VR in-game? So, I don't have VR in-game at the moment. Once they've integrated Vulkan and the Gentile renderer, then they'll probably talk about it more realistically and what they'll want to do with VR, because they've said they want VR in the game. That was quite a while ago. Actually, and the more recently, they did sort of say, yeah, that's still the plan to have VR in the game. I'm expecting it for Squadron 42 significantly before it's in Star Citizen's Persistent Universe. I love that a lot of people. It's relatively 50-50 at the moment in chat, but well, I might have to do a straw poll there. I'll chuck it on the YouTube channel in a bit. Poll: am I more of an egg or more of a potato? Potatoes are cute. Thanks, I appreciate that. Egg. Potatoes are very common amongst streamers. Okay, yeah. Eggs are more fun. That's a weird statement, isn't it? Is the Avenger Titan worth the extra 24 pound over the Aurora? I think so, yes. And I also like the colours black. Don't do the slippery slope of just constantly upgrading your ship more and more beyond, though. You can do just fine with just your starter ship. You don't need that. You don't even need that Avenger Titan. You can do just fine in your Aurora or just fine in your Mustang Alpha. When do you think Operation Trident will happen? Do you mean Operation Pitchfork? And we're supposed to do it just before the beta ends is the idea, or when the beta can support so after server meshing, I suppose is the idea. And when we have Vandal systems, we're going to assault the Vandal systems. I will do a big update with Operation Pitchfork and some of the weird stuff it's gone through. Because it's got an odd history now, but obviously I haven't touched base with those guys properly for about 5 years. So if they get server meshing, does that mean they're going to put in Pyro and other systems? So the idea is that they want to release server meshing and Pyro at the same time, and that will be what will be known as the 4.0 patch. I'll be getting missions pertaining to medical and hacking gameplay. Yes, at some point, and we might see that in the patches that they're in, so 3.14, 3.15, but it might be a bit afterwards. If so, will there be a new job contract manager for these new professions? Potentially, yes. Or they might just be parts of other subsets of missions where the mechanics are just blended in with them. But there's probably going to be a search and rescue one for medical. Have we heard anything about the Polaris' development since its removal from the roadmap? No, we haven't. There's been no additional information on the Polaris since they removed it from the roadmap. So I will be poking CIG. Hopefully they'll just give us an update relatively soon. Yeah, Polaris and Perseus. Yeah, I agree. EVE Online, eat your heart out. There's a lot of good stuff in EVE Online that Star Citizen can learn from. My original hope was that Star Citizen was going to be a first-person EVE 2.0. And I still largely mean that, actually. There's obviously a lot more stuff that Star Citizen can do as well, so... When Chris Roberts said Death of a Spaceman is going to be like after 3 or 4 deaths in 3.15, is that confirmed thing? We'll see rambling. So, both. Okay, so, well, 3.15 is not going to have Death of a Spaceman in, okay? It's not going to have the lives in, okay? That's not in a 3.15. 3.15 is going to have deeper medical gameplay, which is steps towards Death of a Spaceman. So 3.15 is going to have you being able to die and respawn at hospitals and clinics. Hospitals and clinics in the first place to be able to buy medical gear from, and you're going to be able to third-party heal other people. There's going to be dedicated and multi-tool modules so that you can heal people with a medi-gel and that sort of stuff. And you may even be able to revive people that are downed, potentially. We'll see. So that's steps towards Death of a Spaceman. Eventually, you have Death of a Spaceman, which will have your character being able to die a certain amount of times before they're permadead, and then you have to create a new character, although you can transfer all your items and stuff to your new character next of kin. Yeah, bam. He said 3 or 4 times. I talk about it in the video that will be releasing later. There is no... Don't take that as gospel or set in stone. It may well be that there's medical insurance, because we know they're working on medical insurance that can mitigate some of your lost lives, or you may be able to refresh the DNA of your clone. You may be able to do a lot of stuff, and it might be 10 times, not 3 or 4. He was just making the point that after you die a certain amount of times in Star Citizen, you will be dead, and you have to make a new character. So there will be risk and reward. What do you think about, we have big plans for next year, moving to the UK later this year or beginning of next year to get Squadron 42 finished? Squadron 42 2022, that is what I'm hoping for, but they're getting it finished out, which sounds like they're going to stay in the UK until it is finished out. Do you think Chris Roberts should make an elaborate Easter egg hunt that will take decades to complete? But yeah, why not? I like ARGs. In yesterday's episode of They Live, Sandy and Chris are moving overseas to finish up Squadron 42. Do you expect the release in 2022? Just talked about that, basically. Have you put in some thought what a drone carrier should look like? So I would expect it to be pretty oblong, sort of block oblong, with bays so the drones can come out either the top or underneath. I would expect underneath. Stealth gameplay is going to get a lot more interesting with new scanning. Yes. Yeah. It allows it to be in the game more. Will the finished Squadron 42 free up a lot more human resources to work on the PU? Sort of, yes. So expect that in the midterm, yes. And obviously they're going to have a lot of the core game done for the persistent universe as well at that time, because Squadron 42 represents the same game for engine and that sort of stuff. But they will eventually want to start working on Episode 2 and Episode 3 for Squadron 42, although once the core of the game's done, a lot more of the guys there will be working on the persistent universe anyway, so... what else have we got here? They teased to have several unannounced ships in the works. Ships and vehicles. What's your speculation? Talked about it in a video recently. So thinking things like the 400i, the Anvil longbow, some sort of capital carrier, the Argo raft, so either cargo ship or that refinery ship. So a mobile refinery of some kind, which might be the Argo raft. And there could be a load more as well. Do you think Chris Roberts is data or lore, given his recent emergence from the Matrix? What? He's gospel. When they release the Taurus, do you expect us to be able to test the ship in the PTU before buying it? I see what you mean. I wouldn't expect it to be available in the in-game shop until 3.15. Probably. You can borrow one off someone else is the probably best way of getting it. Maybe they'll have it as part of a free fly. I saw you say Hercules Super. So I don't read Russian particularly well. I can use the translate button though. I can't tell if it's more potato or more egg that people identify me as. I will run a poll on the YouTube. Don't you worry. What do we got here? Give 4.0 now. What's the chances 4.0 is still going to come out this year? Very low. Will I be able to use medical gameplay for less noble intentions on my mates? So technically with the dedicated medical tool, there are different drugs you can put into people. I think they all will heal them, but we'll have to wait and see, I suppose. It's possible you will be able to effectively knock people out with medical gameplay. Will alien species need different medical treatment if injured? I would suspect so, at least a different drug mix. What do you think comes first, Banu Merchantman or Polaris? From what I can see, Banu Merchantman, unless the Polaris is one of the secret, unannounced ship projects they're working on. Star Citizen is doing what EVE Online tried to do and failed, resulting in Burn Jita, which I can neither confirm nor deny. I was part of. Wow, we crashed the servers. Will we get NPC ambulances to come pick you up? Yeah, so that's what the Cutlass Red is, basically. The player and NPC ambulances for search and rescue. I saw water in the Orison Gardens. Does this get us closer to water in luxury ships, jacuzzis and pools? I suppose so. I'm not sure what they're actually doing with water tech at the moment. But it did look like pretty water. If you were to die in an isolated location like a cave, for example, could your suit send out a beacon for medical support? Probably. That's probably sort of stuff that you'll be able to do, or automated, and will be assumed. There will probably be ways that you sort of like can tweak your medical insurance and what you do if your character passes out and stuff. I love the idea of the cyberpunk heavily armed medics. How have I been lately, man? I'm in a pretty rough state of looking after my dad at the moment, which is pretty tough. But really hyped for 3.14. Looking forward to that for sure. I know you can't give us the details, but do you think that someone who likes 3.13 combat model lot will enjoy power management version of 2 changes? I am optimistically hoping that the combat changes for 3.14 are liked by many people and do not break anything too badly. I think from what we've seen, missile, ship, and power management changes could be pretty good. But there's certainly going to be some debate and a lot more work to do. And there'll be some polarization for sure. How accessible will cities be? Right now, they are closed off small areas joined by tram systems, which kind of feels like loading screen. We'll be able to walk between areas. Some areas, yeah. Some you'll be able to drive to, some you'll be able to walk to, and there's going to be lots of different types of landing zone and more areas to explore. But you're not going to be able to have these super giant planet-sized landing zones that you're going to be able to go to everywhere. If you're egg and potato, what's in and bacon? She's a ramen person. Take that as you want. When is the new alien carrier ship planned to be flyable? New alien carrier? Are you talking about the Xi'an cargo ship? There's no date currently on when that's going to be flyable. What are the biggest torpedoes in lore? Are they size 12 torpedoes? Is that the biggest ones we've seen? On the Javelin? Size 12. Either. Yeah, size 12 torpedoes on the Javelin. When will... And there may be much larger ones as well. I don't know. When will my ship name actually show up on my Carrack expedition? They were working on it. I'm not sure if they fixed it. How will Xi'an and Banu fit human metrics? What do you mean? They're differently sized creatures. They're not like 18 foot tall or anything though. Like Banu ships are fit for humans and Banu and Xi'an, I suppose, as well. Xi'an are doing human Xi'an hybrid ships. I mean, they're relatively the same size enough. Astropub, hope you're doing well, sir. There are no Jesus patches or silver bullets in Star Citizen. These things do not exist. It annoys me when people use it as a derogatory term against Star Citizen. When people go, "Oh my god, Jesus patch!" No one said it was going to be a Jesus patch, other than people that are grumpy at Star Citizen. Well, I hope they don't. I mean, maybe I'm misreading the situation, but no Jesus patches. Can the 100i fit in the Carrack hangar? I think it can, actually. I haven't actually tried to fit it. Can you do a 0 to hero series with your starter gem? Yeah, just spend $2,500 in the game. Bam, hero. No, yes, eventually for sure. We'll do something like that. Maybe not for that exact thing, but maybe that thing. Wait, is this live? Yes. Now I see it. You're right. You're right, Astropub. Hope you're doing well, sir. When they implement the Jesus system into the game, will they refer to it as the... I hate you. I hate you. They'll refer to it as the Jesus patch. There you are. Sketch Therapy, thank you very much for becoming a bored citizen and clicking that join button underneath my videos. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're a star. One day you will get some more exclusive content. We'll start putting it out later. Again, like it's just been a tough few weeks. Sorry. Do they have plans to fill all the planets with NPCs, either friendly or hostile, to make planets feel more alive? Some of them, yes. Some of them, that's one of the reasons they're building out the colonial outposts, and some places will have lots and lots of little outposts and towns on. Some will have animals on. Some will be entirely barren. Can we drive capital ships? Yeah. Is it? I mean, Zin likes... she likes steak. We both like steak, actually. A good grain finished ribeye. Doesn't need to be Wagyu. grain finished ribeye is superb. Do you think Terra will have functional roads that we can drive on? Maybe. I think they're probably trying to stay away from that where possible around these sort of landing zones. Do you know what I mean? It'd be cool to have, but I think they're going to have more public transport in these areas. Makes more sense to them, right? Geek Garage, thank you so much for becoming a board citizen. It is appreciated. A lot of people signing up the channel today, becoming channel members. You star, thank you so much. Namaste, that's what I'm supposed to say. Apparently. Will they increase standard star with gas giant tech? Recreated? I don't know what you mean. Oh, I see what you mean. I think they want to physicalize the stars at some point. And probably use the same sort of thing that they have for the pressure system near the star. So you just take damage and eventually just die. For people that don't know, AstroPub does, the streams and covers Star Citizen a good amount. Captain's Table's his, but also he does a lore series, which everyone should watch. It's fantastic.
I am going to buy so many spaceships.
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars.
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. There you are. Is that what you want me to do? Is that how you want me to say that? Sierra Noble, thank you very much for the donation. Very much appreciated. Who knew I was so musical? I'm sorry, I will never do that again. Have they announced when the next battle event will be? So we know during 3.14 we'll have Xenothreat Remastered or Xenothreat 2.0, and we'll have lots and lots and lots and lots of the, well, at least a good amount of times, the Ninetales Lockdown, which is a much more smaller event, or smaller running event that we should keep on running, that can happen lots, where a single station will be sort of around it will be a quantum pull-out of area, quantum interdicted area, and then you'll have the Crusader security and players that are defending them, scanning for boop, 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 boop. That's the sound of scanning. You heard it here first, for ships that are interdicting in the area, or the cause of the quantum blockade. And then you have, on the other side, the Ninetales and Ninetales players who, again, this is a more PvP orientated sort of event, will be trying to destroy those ships that are scanning. And then the based on what happens there, the sort of plot then advances into the next couple of phases. So, will we be able to own and customize homes and property? Yes. You'll also be able to build bases. Should larger ships be very difficult, time-consuming to buy in-game? Yes. And they are. They should be things, especially larger ones, should be things that you buy as an org or as a group. Although there are going to be super rich people. With the standard being 5 AU large, how will Star Citizen handle Earth if they go to 1-to-1 size? So it's not 1-to-1. It's 1 to 10. So or 10-to-1 or whatever. So bear that in mind. It's 1 to 10 or 10-to-1 for the star system. I think is it 1 to 6 or 1 to 5 for planets. Sort of roughly scaled. Still pretty big. And they can tweak this stuff more. What measures can I take to prevent my crewmates from jettisoning my exotic pet out of the airlock on launch? Well, that's it, isn't it? So how are pets going to work? Are they just going to be more static items that are attached to you? Are they going to just spawn next to you and stuff? You don't have to worry about them. Hey board, greetings from Korea. Do you think Star Citizen servers will be available on more locations? There's a growing fan base here. I hope so. I hope either that we'll have the tech, so Amazon Web Services and that sort of stuff will be able to support just easily and near seamlessly people without having to worry about ping and desync and lag, or there'll be multiple solutions for local servers or whatever. But we'll have to wait and see. With persistence and housing bases, will these be destroyable while offline? I would expect so. I expect that bases that have been built will be able to be destroyed and displaced and taken over even when you're offline, but you'll be able to put a lot of defenses there. You may even be able to get alerts while you're offline. AWS has distributed servers all over, right? I believe so. Have you heard of Outterra? I have heard about Terra. Oh, one-to-one digital copy of Earth. Yes, I have heard of it. And I've seen a load of the stuff with it, so yes. Do we have a expected time frame for taser-style FPS weapons? So they can actually have less than lethal weapons in now, and they just haven't like finished them off. So that could be any patch. Probably when they do Bounty Hunting V2, which will be reasonably soon, in my opinion. Zin is not secretly a gorilla, or in the gorillas. Neither of those. What else have we got here? Chris hinted that the first implementation of personal inventory and local inventories will be ready for next patch. Yes, so 3.15. Yes, that's what it looks like it's going to be. What are you looking forward to with the events, and what do you fear about them? So just a reason for the community and people to play together. It gives you something to be able to jump in and do in Star Citizen. It's super important at the moment to motivate people to actually play the game. Go, well, how do you play the game? A bit of FOMO, but also a bit of, look, this is what Star Citizen can currently do. Let's enjoy a refined gameplay loop that can do that. Yeah? And that's what these events for me represent. A reason to play the game and something to actually enjoy, and that's technically pretty good and quite fun. So Xenothreat, really looking forward to that. Nine Tails Lockdown, really looking forward to that. And actually playing with my community, getting some video of that, and playing it through with some other orgs as well. Would you consider Astropop as one of your guests? Yeah. Yeah, I can interview him. That's a good point. Astropop, I'll talk to you about this later. Either do a interview / podcasty thing with me and Zin. I'd be honoured. Hi, Bored. Can't stay for long with my cousins in the New Forest. Oh, I hope you have fun in the New Forest. It's nice. The Wi-Fi is really bad, but it's a beautiful area. Yes, indeed it is. I hope you have fun, Hextus, mate. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the check-in. Is it at all frustrating for you to make content during Ivocado? Yeah, can be. It's more frustrating for me at the moment because I'm looking after my dad, and that's stressful. Not the having to look after him part, this sort of like the reasons for it. I love my dad. I feel honoured to be able to look after him. Yeah, it's frustrating because there's a bit of a short-term content drought for like a week or two when I could be talking about a lot of stuff, and when you're waiting for that first wave PTU to drop, yeah, it can be frustrating. What's your favourite aspect of Chris Roberts' video and his wife? I like the fact he talked about coming to the UK next year and getting Squadron 42 done. Cool. Obviously, they talked a bit about server meshing there as well, which it's great to hear. And what he thinks about server meshing and where they are with it, and the fact that there's some teams working on it, and they've renamed iCache to Entity Graph and all that sort of stuff. So, and obviously, he's looking forward to a load of the cool stuff with 3.15. Medical gameplay, and he talked a bit about medical gameplay and the local and personal inventories for that patch as well. So 3.15 is pretty big ticket. When do you think we'll see server meshing? First stage server meshing, I would expect, and optimistically, middle of next year. Will we be able to build a hidden underground base on Homestead? So I think hiding your base is going to be an important thing, and you'll be able to do that to some degree. Will we be able to build stuff underground? Maybe, I don't know. When do you think we'll see server meshing? I talked about that. Thoughts on the Hammerhead getting more hull points? Yeah, I mean, ships will need a big rebalance when they have physical components. Anyway, so maybe. Have you looked into Pluto Sphere as an alternative shadow? It looked more focused on VR, but I will look at it again. Later this year or early next year, I'll be looking at Shadow more realistically again as something I might promote. Obviously, they're back on track now. They've got a lot of investment money. They're able to continue their business. I want to see where that goes with it, and then look at them via their viability again. You think CIG will eventually drop the max speed of quantum drives back down to be more in line with in-game lore, or do you think that instead just change the game lore to suit? It'll depend. It will depend what's necessary for the gamification of the game. Do you know what I mean? It obviously can do either. When do you think we'll see server meshing? I talked about that already. Is there any info on organizations owning ships and not individual players only? Not really, but we do know that they're building organization tools, and that is almost certainly going to be something you'll be able to do. If Crusader is undense enough to have non-crushing gravity, how will crush depth atmospheric pressure? Well, when you're deeper into the planet, there'll be atmospheric pressure based on the liquids and the gases and stuff there. I mean, that's just how it works. Okay, I don't know. I didn't make it. Assuming everything goes amazingly well and we get Nyx and Pyro in the next 6 to 10 months. Yeah, that's possible. How do you think it will take to get the next star systems rolling out? Oh, they are working on other star systems like Odin and places like that already. Obviously, that's Squadron 42 one. I think we could start to see at least a couple of star systems a year. Shadow, what game is this? Shadow Tech is a computer streaming service, basically Windows 10 streaming service that you get a Windows 10 PC environment that you can customize fully and then stream it to another device. Besides Orison, is there anything else you want to do on Crusader or 3.14? Well, I'm certainly going to murder myself a lot in lots of different ways, and it's generally pretty. Yeah. There might be some gameplay around that area. Thanks for considering my suggestion, sir. Sounds like a great... Oh, you were talking to Astropub. That's fine. It's fine. Don't shame me, but what actually is the Genesis Starliner? As I only found out what it looked like yesterday. So I keeps on appearing on the screen. So Genesis Starliner is a people carrier, sort of like a civilian commercial people carrier to take a load of people from planet to planet or to system. Basically what it is. Air Steward sort of gameplay, if you want to do that. Right. I am going to dash off in a second. I know I've only been on for like an hour and 20, but I do want to check on my father and my mother to make sure they're okay, and I'll grab myself some lunch, and I want to get a summary of Sandy and Chris' video out, which is done now. I just want to upload it and get a thumbnail and get that out, and then I'll also do a little roadmap update video as well, which I'll either release today or tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'll answer a couple more questions. Lastly, what are you most looking forward to or hoping to present at CitizenCon? I want to see Nyx and Pyro system. I want to see some testing of server meshing. I want to see updates to Dynamic Universe Sim. Obviously, we know there's going to be server meshing presentation. New gameplay, new mission type, and the gameplay demo. Some cool new ships and stuff. Yeah, pretty happy with that. Is football coming home? I don't know. I don't care. I'm not pro football. Yeah, we know there's going to be a server meshing presentation at CitizenCon. What's the biggest unknown you want to know from SIG? When? What, Squadron 42 plan when? Star Citizen plan when? I don't know. There's loads. There's a huge amount. There's a huge amount. The future of larger ships like the Energy Management Polar is expected to require assistance braking atmosphere from ships with the tow truck, or will VTOL make the difference in this case? It depends on the planet, the ladenness of the ship, is it damaged, and the general gravity of the area. Right. I'm going to send you to another streamer's channel. I'm going to get out of here. Who is actually online at the moment? My man has a beautiful beard. But I'm going to send you to SMB because I love the boy. See my brothers around. Give him some love. Give him some love. I appreciate all the love. Thank you very much for all the kind words. It is very bearable. But yeah, don't worry too much about me. I'm doing well. Zin is doing well. It is. I am sad about my dad being ill, but it is a fact of life, unfortunately. I'll do the best I can for him. And thank you very much for the kind words and concern, and it's appreciated, and the prayers and the positive energy and whatever. But yeah, thanks for the love, guys. You take care. Give SMB Sumac Brothers some love, and I'll look at running an egg or potato poll. How do you identify me?